Welcome to Find Your Fridays. It is me, Lorene. I am here with you tonight. I am so thrilled to be here. Woo! Can we remember all the things? That is the next question. Here we go. Mom, we remembered stuff. Hello, Edwina. Hello, my darling. How are you? Did you miss me? I certainly missed you, Edwina. You're a nice little early bird today. I love it. I love it. Yes, beautiful. Do you know what, Edwina? Seeing as you're already here and we can wait for some others to come in, I'm going to wait to do our weekly reading until a little bit later. And I'm actually going to do your beautiful reading first. There we go. Changing it up. Apparently 2 weeks away, we'll do that to a person. So let me see. Which cards is Edwina's team? Hi, team. Before I start telling you about all of my wonderful adventures being away. Or maybe not all of them. Some of them, maybe. Edwina's team. Okay. Anything else? This one. What is this one? Ooh, you got some good ones. Cool. Thank you for the question. Hi, Christine. Lovely to have you with us all the way from the America. Hi, Melinda. Hope you're having a beautiful evening, Melinda. Edwina was very smart and she put in her donation very early today. So I'm going to just start off the evening with her and then I'm going to go into the weekly reading after that. So just changing it up for a little bit for tonight, just because I can. And then I've got lots of cool things to share with you guys. Great awarenesses and stuff like that. Some pretty magical moments from when I was away. So looking forward to it. How have you guys coped without me for 2 weeks? I'm sure it's been nice and peaceful on your Fridays. Ooh. I did play some regular cards over the couple of weeks I was away. Safe to say it was very strange shuffling a regular card deck, like playing cards. Very strange indeed after being used to these for such a long time. I can't think of the last time I actually played regular cards. So yeah, that was fun. Okie dokie. So let's pop in here and have a look and see what your team would like you to have a look at for this. Oh, beautiful. All right, Edwina. So your team has asked for 2 different decks to play with tonight. And the first one that we're going to have a look at is from the Sacred Forest deck by Denise Lynn. We haven't played with this deck a whole lot, so this is like really exciting for me. These cards are absolutely phenomenal. They are so pretty. And the other one I will tell you about in a moment. But let us begin. So your team is first asking you to have a look at, let's see if I can get the light correct for you. To have a look at this one. There we go. This is called the Enchanted Fern Grotto, which is about refuge. Magic is afoot in the enchanted grotto. Long rays of light stream through the forest canopy above. An abundance of ferns fill the grotto with effervescent, verdant colour, and a small waterfall tinkles like crystalline chimes. You know that you are safe here. Oh, instantly I'm back in the old growth forests of Tasmania reading that. So, yummy. Anyway, this is the time to go within, seek and find your inner refuge. Take time for deliberation and reflection. In times of retreat, you can hear the voice of your soul. If you've been pushing hard or struggling to keep going, this is the time to be still and nurture your inner world. Draw nourishment from the wellspring within you. Think carefully about the decisions you make at this time. If possible, put them off. Now is not a good time to make life-changing choices. Instead, take time to create a foundation for the future. Retreat and reflect on your heart's true desires. Proceed with care and deliberation as you make plans. Listen to your inner guidance. Fern grottos have a feeling of peace as you enter. Many are known to be places where magic resides, perhaps the homes of fairies and elves. Allow the energy of the sacred space to fill you. Know that you can be yourself and truly relax. The spirit of the Enchanted Fern Grotto says, retreat and replenish your inner resources. Now is not the time to act, but to incubate your ideas for the future. Be still, the answers are within you, magic is all around you. So one of the things I can say from this card alone is that it's a really big indication that you've been putting everybody else's needs and wants and requirements above your own. And there is an inner magic within you, a desire, a heart-throbbing thing that you truly wish to do and be, and a way to be of service that is different from what you are right now. And it has been pushed to the side. Your inner magic, your dream, it's not really even about your destiny. It's about what makes you feel like lit up, and that your heart is opening. That's what this card is talking about. And it's about going within and being quiet and just listening. So the point where this happened for me at one point, I've had many, but one point which was incredibly significant was when I was on 24 hours of red-eye flights back from America. That was lots of internal listening, because red-eye flights, of course, everybody's asleep. And that was a lot of time to think. So if you can, I know it's harder here in South Australia, but if you can, I highly recommend getting to a place where you've got maybe some running water, maybe a little stream or a creek or something like that, and take some moments, if you can, an hour, and if you can longer, to sit with it and just be. Walk alongside it, but listen. to the nature. Breathe with it. Breathe with the trees. Hi, Tamara. Thank you. Sit and listen and breathe with the trees and with the water, the earth, and they'll lead you back home. They'll lead you home to your heart and what your heart's desire is. Okay? That's your first card. Your second card. Here we go. We have Owl Spirit, which is wisdom. The sun has set and you feel a remarkable transformation occurring. Your body shape shifts into an owl. You stretch out your huge wings and silently soar to the top of the tallest pine tree and look over the moonlit forest. Your ability to see the smallest details, even in the darkness, is remarkable. Your sight expands and you see luminous light bodies of the spirit of the forest. They signal you with love and compassion. Abounding insight, profound majesty, and grace are available to you now, simply by pulling your awareness inward. So we're repeating a similar message. Ancient wisdom is emerging. You know the truth. Trust your intuition and perceptions right now. You are a truth seeker and a truth sharer. The excellent sight of an owl in the darkness corresponds with your ability to perceive the reality of a situation, even in the murkiest of conditions. When this card chooses you, you are at the advent of a time of profound illumination and transformation. The owl sits at the shoulder of Athena and Merlin, revealing sacred truths. In some native cultures, the owl is called the night eagle, for it has the majesty of an eagle but works silently in the darkness of the night. This card can also mean that it is time to embark on your dark side, embrace your dark side as well as your light. Through doing so, you will be in balance. The spirit of the owl says, trust in your ability to see the deepest truth in situations and in people. Wisdom is growing within you in mysterious ways beyond your awareness. This is a good time to sign up for inspirational courses. Messages from spirit are all around you. Look for them and trust what you feel. So again, it's about coming back to you, coming back to home, come back to what really makes you smile and sing and just uplifts your heart. Okay. There's a lot of self-reflection going on in your reading tonight. So maybe some journaling is required, but if you're not into journaling, then some kind of creative something. Definitely, I'm feeling that. All right, let's have a look at what your third card says. This is really funny. Sorry, I'm looking at the cards and I'm just going, yeah, that all tracks. All right, cool. This next one is Reflecting Pool, which is about stillness. Interesting. As you stand on the soft moss at the edge of the forest pool, you can see your own reflection. A soft breeze ripples the surface. Your image wavers and shifts, only to return as the air becomes still. In the quietude of this moment, you tap into the internal source of your power. You watch as your reflected image transforms into the highest form of you. What beauty and grace. In stillness, your power emerges. Tap into your inner sacred witness to discover the dwelling place inside of you, inside of your soul. In profound peace and silence, you can discover the truth of your being. If you are in pain, go into the stillness until you find the source. Resist the temptation to indulge in feelings of overwhelm, urgency, and emergency. There is always a higher truth. Seek it out. Your soul loves what is real and honest. In quietude, the truth emerges. Move past the bustle and the chatter of life into the sweet stillness. Allow the chaos of the outer world to roll off your back the way water rolls off the back of a duck. Surrender to it. Seek solitude to hear the voice of spirit, and serenity will follow. The spirit of reflecting pool says, in silence you will find the dwelling place of your soul. Take time to move into quietude, and you'll discover a vast store of insight emerging within you. In ongoing situations in your life, hold back. Take time to reflect before responding. So the reason why I'm smiling is because this one and this one, which was your first one, are two very similar cards. It's not about movement right now, except within. It's not about you making big jumps. It's not about you finding a new job. It's not about you, ending friendships or relationships or anything like that. This is about coming back to the inner parts of you. And what is your soul truly asking for? Now we go back to number one, which is why I smiled, because your fourth card and your second card are just about the same. It's ear spirit, which is knowledge. And if you remember, the second one was owl spirit, which is wisdom. As you stand in the center of the forest, a subtle breeze lovingly touches your cheeks. Gentle gusts rustle the leaves above you as the spirit of air approaches upon her boat of light and wind. In the quietude, you sense the wind whispering messages to you from spirit. You receive this card when you need to think things through. This is not time to be impulsive. Do not react instinctively to situations and people. Take into consideration all points of views. Do your research, listen to others, speak your truth. Take time to weigh the pros and cons of a situation. It is an excellent time to begin a new adventure or project. Interesting. It will succeed as long as you are thoughtful, organized, and focused. There is a remarkable wellspring of wisdom within you. Take a breath, slow and deep, and delve into that inner knowledge. It will guide you in the right direction. Air represents wisdom, our mental activity, and our ability to reason. It's also associated with thoughts, intellect, communication, and comprehension. Through our breath, we can speak and express ourselves. Our lives begin with our first breath, so air is connected to new beginnings. The spirit of air oversees friendship, clarity, and positive focuses on life. Positive focus in life, not on life, in life. The spirit of air says, inhale. Take a moment to think things through. Think as well as feel the right direction. Get clarity and become focused before stepping forth. Take care to have thoughtful communication with others. Okay. So again, we're looking at just slowing it down a little bit, looking at things from all different perspectives, come back to space, come back to heart, just be in the space of knowing what is absolutely true for you. Okay. Now, the next card, which is the last card I have for you, except for your yummy card, is one that I've become quite familiar with. So this is your guide. This is your guide who has asked, or goddess rather, who has asked to come along this journey with you. And her name is Epona. So this is about earth magic. Oh, how funny. How many times over the last 4 cards have you been asked to go back to earth? To be with nature. Okay. So, honoured among the Celts, Romans, and North Africans as a protector of horses, Epona was said to be the offspring of a mere and immortal king. Within feminine spirituality, she dwells in the forests as a fairy queen and can appear as a woman, a horse, and sometimes as a river or water spirit. She is an environmental warrior connecting humanity with the healing magic of nature. Her symbols are horses, cornucopia, and keys. This is a sign to enter swiftly into the healing power of nature. You require to connect with the magic that lies within trees, plants, water, and crystals. You are being guided towards a special natural setting to relax your body and engage your spirit. Be open to receiving a message delivered through your feelings and intuition. Queen Epona says, you are a crystal and nature healer. The jewels of the earth are calling to you. They bring spiritual protection and reattune you to magical powers. Listen to the messages given by trees, streams, flowers, plants, and crystals. They hold vital keys to protecting Mother Gaia. They're also essential for your well-being and spiritual path right now. The elementals, the nature spirits such as fairies, pixies, water sprites, and mermaids, are deeply concerned about environmental damage and climate change. There's a message they wish to get through to you about this crucial issue. If you're already involved in eco-activist projects, consider this card a thank you and please keep going message from us. We know how deeply concerned you are about environmental issues. You can make a difference. Please continue with your much-needed efforts. Take regular breaks in nature. You'll hear us cheering you on. Your additional meanings for this card. Take action on your ideas for helping the environment. Use vibrational flower essences or herbal remedies. Move out of the city and closer to nature. Train or visit a crystal healing practitioner. Epona is a protector of horses, so this card may also represent a connection to a horse. Your invocation for working with this one. I now receive sacred medicine from nature. I support Earth's healing process. So throughout all of your cards, there's been a really big emphasis on working with what's inside of you, working with nature, and taking time out to slow things down, to be quiet, to just breathe. So I do comprehend that you have a very busy life, and that busy life is such that it doesn't allow you very much time to do that, I imagine. This is a reminder from your team to make a small, subtle change and come back to you and find you again and find that peace within you, that little part of you that is just so vibrant and brings you so much joy. Okay? Something that is not necessarily tied to duty. Duty and obligation. I think you know what I mean. And your yummy card is open-hearted. Okay. So keep being open-hearted, flow into that space of being with nature. And I heard a lovely quote today from a movie I watched where it was, does the sun ever look at the earth and say, pay up, you owe me? It does not. And that's the beauty of a honored relationship. The sun doesn't ask for that. So therefore, have a look around you. Where are you functioning from that space of you owe me? Or perhaps there's people in your world that figure the same about you, that you owe them. maybe you don't. Maybe your presence is just enough. Thank you so much for your very, very generous donation, Edwina. I'm so grateful for you. As always, thank you for being here with us and Find You Fridays as part of the crew. And I'm so grateful to have you here and for kicking off the show tonight. Thank you, Edwina. Hope that helps. Hello, Terry. How are you, my dear? I did have a very amazing holiday. And I'm really looking forward to catching up with you very soon, Terry. All right, so now we have a few more people floating around, which is awesome. It's good to have you back. I have missed you all terribly. I will honestly say that. It was like the Fridays rolled around, and even when I was flying over from Adelaide over to Tasmania, I was like, I'm missing the show. Hey, things happen. So I've had some pretty amazing experiences while I was away. There's some things, I wish I could have taken a little bit more time in certain spots, but we had an itinerary and we're just trying to keep to it. We saw an awful lot of the country of Tasmania, of the state, within 12 days. And for that, I'm incredibly grateful because I don't know when I'll be able to get back down there again. But it's safe to say it was an incredible trip and I'm so super grateful. Now, those of you who have been around here for a while, I love tea. But one of the things I was thinking about today, I didn't really find any like spiritual type shops as such, which I thought was interesting. But in saying that, we didn't really do a lot of like shopping type stuff anyway. We did a little tiny bit, but most of it was spent out in the forests, down at the beach, seeing waterfalls and amazing lookouts. And it was just an incredible trip. And so the tea I am drinking tonight is the first time I've had this tea at home, and it is a 9-spice chai. This came from the Salamanca markets, and this tea, I've made it a little bit strong, to be fair, but it has in it, in case you're curious, cardamom, cinnamon, cloves, ginger root powder, nutmeg, pepperberry. Now, pepperberry is a unique to Tasmania plant, and you can find it sort of dotted around here and there, different products with it. I've actually got a salt with pepperberry in it, which is really lovely. This one also has rose petal, cumin, black pepper, fennel seed, vanilla, lavender, and tulsi. So especially those last two are one of the reasons why I chose this one specifically. And it is very nice. But like I said, I think I made it a little bit strong. It's lovely. It's got a really big twang to it. I also got this tea, which is the winter spice tea. We're seeing a bit of a theme, aren't we? And this one has winter spice and pepperberry leaf because it's going to be the only time I can pick up stuff with pepperberry in it. So I was like, gotta have it. And this one here has, it's pepperberry leaf with black tea, cinnamon, vanilla, and a hint of citrus fruit. And if I remember correctly, we got this one when we went to the air walk. So this is more down towards that little bit about there of Tasmania. Really, really amazing place. And like the air walk, there's a platform walk that is right up near the tops of the trees, and it is so amazing. It wasn't particularly windy or anything when we were there, so the platform was pretty sturdy, pretty stable, didn't wobble around a whole lot. And there was one part that was cantilevered out over the bush and stuff, and it was just an incredible view, incredible. So that's where I got that one from. And then I went to the Lavender Farm, which is more towards the north, sort of heading towards Launceston from the Bay of Fires, which is on the east. So it's sort of halfway in between almost. And it is called Brightstone. And I picked up this one here, which has got chamomile, lemongrass, rubus. I always find that word funny. Rubus, ginger, rose petals, and a pure Bridgestone lavender flowers. Now, of course, the lavender farm was not very pretty while we were there because the harvest had already come in at the end of summer. But I did get to try lavender ice cream while I was there and a cup of this particular brand of version of tea. So they had a whole bunch of different ones, but this is the one that my body chose. This is one I got to try out, and it was delicious. So very, very happy for that. But yeah, we got to do the Tasmania kind of in a anti-clockwise direction, and we started at Hobart and then went down a tiny little bit and then went over to Freycinet, where we got to do the Wineglass Bay and Coles Bay lookout, which was a lot of steps, a lot of steps, but the views were great. And then we toddled our way slowly up to the Bay of Fires, which was really amazing. And then, like I said, across through the Lavender Farm, through to Launceston, and just a little bit down from Launceston is the Cataract Gorge, where we got to go on the chairlift, and that was really cool, going across the gorge. And we wandered around and went up and down and lookouts. And safe to say, I didn't put on any weight while I was away. We did a lot of walking, a lot of steps, and we did get to go in the first leg of that first chunk of the trip. There was some, one of the falls was Snug Falls, and that was really super pretty. And all the falls were lovely. But I have to say, I really loved Russell Falls. Russell Falls was, it's at the top northern edge of Mount Field Conservation Area, which is in the lower southwest of Tasmania. And it was probably my most favorite place. I was maybe a little bit biased because it was the very first picture of falls that I saw when we started planning this trip. And it was, even though there was so many tourists, I was just blown away by it. It was amazing. It was multiple layers, and it was wide, and it was just incredible. And then you walked up a whole bunch more steps, 200 steps to be precise, and you got to go to Horseshoe Falls. And it, as the name suggests, the water flows down and it meets in the middle like a horseshoe, which is really super cool. And that was less busy because of all the steps, which was good for me. And around in different spots around Tasmania, I got to do like geocaching. So if you don't know what geocaching is, it's kind of like orienteering and a bit of a treasure hunt mixed together using GPS coordinates, and somebody's gone and hidden a container of some kind. It could be as small as this right through to huge. Like you go onto a specific app, website, and you can find them. And that was really neat. There was a few up and around sort of the Mount Field area. I managed to pick them up so that I've kind of tracked our trips, sort of. So that was really, really cool. And an absolute massive highlight was catching up with my friend Bronwyn over. She actually works at the Russell Falls Cafe, and being able to actually be face to face with her after 9 years of friendship was just amazing. And she has an absolutely gorgeous property, which she said, hey, you guys come, you can camp up at mine. And so that's what we did. And it was just one of the most hugest highlights for me. And Simon got to have himself a campfire, and and I got to catch up with my friend and explore her property. And she's got so many beautiful gardens, and she's got like 3 acres right by the river. It was wonderful, and it was a fabulous way to end the trip. So yeah, that's where I've been for a couple of weeks. So yeah, safe to say there was some very specific moments where I felt the energy of Tasmania, and it's very different from the mainland. It's very different from South Australia. A lot more like New Zealand. So people aren't lying when they say if you want to experience New Zealand, go to Tasmania. It's not the same, but it is similar. The energy is it is still in a lot of ways feminine energy. I find South Australian energy, like earth energy, to be a bit more masculine. But the Tasmanian energy I found to be a lot more feminine. And yet New Zealand is definitely feminine, but older, wiser, more crone-like energy over there, where it was more the mother energy in Tasmania. Loads and loads and loads of mountains and forests and deep, thick, lichens and mosses and, trickling streams out of rock faces. And, I was in heaven. I was in heaven. Every time we got to get out and go for a walk somewhere, I was just like, everything in my body just went, and there was massive ferns and little ferns and just, the big pungas and all that. They call them tree ferns down there. We call them pungas back in New Zealand. And there was just, it was just beautiful. And my little Kiwi heart has been satisfied for now. One of the things that I noted was the color of the earth. So in South Australia, not everywhere, so Simon likes to remind me, but South Australian earth is a lot more red, like dark brown, reddy, or actually not even dark brown. It can be if it's been farmed to be so, but it's got more red to it. More like, these kinds of colors, these very dark sort of terracotta type colors. And Tasmania has absolutely got the similar to a lot of New Zealand's earth of sort of like the light, almost like creamy color, that light brown, dark brown, but a lot more light colors that we would associate from where I grew up in the mountains of pumice. So if you know the color of pumice, it's much similar to that. And so of course I'm seeing all of these similar colors going, oh yay. This reminds me of home. And when we went over to the western side, there was a lot more poplars and the conifers and things like that, and oak trees, and that was, it's all very New Zealandish in a lot of ways. And it made me realize just how much of the trees that are in New Zealand that I'm very familiar with are actually imports. I'm very familiar with the New Zealand natives as well, but there's a lot of imports as well, which I found quite interesting, because you saw it in different places that we went to where they're talking about the different trees. So yeah, fun times. So I'd love to know, tell me, what or where have you traveled to or would like to travel to that just makes your heart just go, where is that heart opening space for you? I would love to know. Let me know down in the chat. And while you do that, I will work on this weekly reading for us all. For the last week of April. My goodness. Where did the month go? But we met with some amazing people, really, really beautiful people, beautiful travelers. Like the locals were really lovely. Just we had such a really positive experience down there. And the one thing that had me a bit befuddled was it was about how far into the trip? I think we were about 8 or 9 days in, and we came across this tour group that they were on a tour of Tasmania that was all of 4 days long. And I went, did you say 4 days? The lady was like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, good luck. You're going to be on and off your bus a lot. Or you're not going to see a lot, but man, oh man, super cool. And it was lovely. There was other people that we meet. That there was one couple we met that had been in Tasmania for 3 months, and they still hadn't seen some of the stuff that we saw on our trip. And that's the beauty of Tasmania, is there is so much to see wherever you go. And there's certainly amazing stuff depending on what your idea is of what you would like to do and see. Yeah, definitely. And there's lots of tips and things that I would suggest, but I think you guys have heard me talking enough about Tasmania now. But we learned a lot, and it was great. So just trying to think, before Tasmania, what was my heart opening space? I go back to in New Zealand, in Hawke's Bay. There's this forest a bit north of Napier, and I think they call it White Bush or something like that. And within this walk, you can do it in about an hour. Within the first 20 minutes, you get to a massive waterfall, and it comes down, and you come out at the bottom of this waterfall, and then you go up and over this, it's fairly hilly, steep walk, and you come to the top of another waterfall that is absolutely huge. And in between, there's all this beautiful forest, the old growth forest, ferns, moss, lichen, that sort of thing. And you get to see lots of babbling brooks and creeks and things, and that has always held a very special place in my heart. I used to go up there fairly regularly when I lived in the Hawke's Bay, and took other people there with me to go for a walk. I'd go, oh, do you want to go for a walk? Even if I knew that they didn't really like walking up hills. I was like, do you want to go for a walk? I'm like, I hate you. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but it's great when you get to the top. And I was not wrong. Tamara said there's a place about 2 hours from Brisbane called Gordon Country. I remember driving in for the first time and feeling like I had come home. I would love to visit the Kimberleys. Ah, yeah. See, I haven't done the Kimberleys yet. That would be really cool. Don't you love what my hair's doing today? You should have seen it before I was getting ready. It was like this, but on both sides. This is cracking me up. All right. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Tamara. I would love to visit the Kimberleys too. That's going to be on the task list. I think the next place that Simon and I will visit will probably be the Blue Mountains, though. Litchfield National Park and the NT was spectacular too. I'd love to go back again. I was only 19 at the time and just didn't appreciate it the way it should be. Ah, yes, Tamara, I know. Isn't it incredible how when we reflect on those sorts of places or experiences that we had when we were younger, we're like, oh, did I really appreciate that properly? And now that you're in a different part of your life, you sort of go, oh, that, I think I'd like to revisit that. It's like when I went back to New Zealand for my half sister's wedding, you know, coming up a year and a half ago now. I was seeing New Zealand in a really different way. Good, very good, but it was just very different. Yeah. It's amazing what 6 years away from something can do. All right, so let's have a look at this reading for the collective for this next week, being that we have the full moon on the 1st of May. Goodness gracious, 1st of May. So this week, interesting. What a very interesting week. So we've got the secret language of your color cards. The first card is Auburn. Which is ground yourself. This is very relevant for us here in the South Australia or in the Southern Hemisphere rather, because it's autumn here. And the colors are all coming out in our trees right now, and it is glorious. And even for you in the Northern Hemisphere being spring, still ground yourself, okay? Because even with the new growth, they've got to get the energy from somewhere, don't they? And it's got to come from underneath. So ground yourself. Take some time, get out in nature, do some tree breathing. If you don't know what tree breathing is, you just hold your hand on a tree, close your eyes, and take 3 really big, deep breaths and just be quiet and just be with the tree. That was something that I was very happy I got to do with the trees around Russell Falls. All of them had quite different energy. I had 3 different types of trees that I just spent time with. And yeah, so good. I would have loved to have taken time to do a meditation while I was away, but we just didn't have time. And then because you're camping, things get dark real quick. Generally it was making sure that we're all found a camp spot by about 5:15, and we were in bed by 8 o'clock at night because it was dark, super dark. So yes, this week, ground yourself. Now, this next card is interesting because if you recall Edwina's reading about connecting in with nature, slowing down, finding that quiet place, all of that. A lot of that is relevant for all of us. And this next card is very relevant for that too, in that a lot of people think you have to do a lot to attract success. If anything, the doing is the lie. When you slow it down and allow your magic to shine, your truth to shine, the success will come to you, because you will be inspiring. You will be inspired, but you will also be inspiring. And there's a little something that I'm going to tell you guys about in a moment. But again, it's a Tasmania story, but I wish to do this reading first. So if you are looking at launching something, creating some kind of offering or whatever, come back to this, come back to your heart, come back to your higher self and say, truth, is this actually my truth? Or am I trying to do something to please someone else? Or create something because somebody told me to? I've worked with, business mentors and things in the past, and realized very quickly that their style of business mentorship wasn't for me, because it was so masculine. And what I required was a lot more feminine approach. And of course, a feminine approach is what it is when you tap back into you, into your truth, into your heart, into your higher self and your intuition. It's not about the thinking, it's about the feeling. And that's the most important thing. So attracting success, just double check where you're at with your creations. Are you doing it for the pure pleasure of you, of being of service, of, where is the direction? Where is the impetus coming from? Okay. This week, we're also going to be awakening your empathy. So you're going to find yourself maybe being a little bit more emotional than usual. You might be finding yourself feeling the feels a little bit more, maybe feeling a little bit more thankfulness, a little bit more gratitude, a little bit more, just amazingness, like for your friends and your family, your support network. You might be finding yourself reaching out to people and going, thank you so much for being in my life. I so appreciate you. That's going to be coming up this week too. All right. So enjoy that. Please lean into it, because again, in expressing your gratitude and thankfulness for other people being in your life, that also helps you attract success. How fun is that? So easy. Now this next card. In a weird way, I actually find this card to be one that I have grown to love. I used to feel a bit funny about it when it would come up, but now I see the value in it, and it is this. It is black. Find the richness from the dark night. Okay, so in those moments where you feel so lost, alone, lonely, isolated, like you just don't feel like you're disconnected and depressed, perhaps anxious, whatever it is, there's a huge gift sitting there waiting for you. And the biggest gift is you taking that dark, yucky part of you and making friends with it. Bringing yourself back to that place of balance and peace. Because if you aren't resisting and reacting to the horrible, harsh parts of you, you can find your way to beating back into that place of peacefulness. But if we resist and react to those dark places, the darkness within, whether it be from our actions, our thoughts, whatever it might be, if we continue to resist and react and pretend like they don't exist, if we try all in this lovely spiritual sector, if we're all standing around going love and light, without actually acknowledging the darkness, it's an unbalanced equation. And once you find your peace with this side of you, again, you'll attract more success. Okay. And this part of you can also include your ego. The ego that tries to run the show from your thinky, stinky mind rather than your feeling. It tries to run it from your thinking side rather than your intuition, from that place of peace. Your ego likes to be in that thing of like forcing you to do. Make peace with it. Thank it. Allow it to integrate and return to your heart. It's going to be some big energies moving through this week, I feel. So again, we'll go back to card number 1, ground yourself. I think we'll all require some of that. Get out in nature, get out in the garden. I certainly have to get out in my garden. I've got a lot of weeding to do. One of Simon's friends said that it had been really dry and stuff, and I'm like looking at my garden and going, there's no way it's been particularly dry. My weeds have just gone, bro. Dream. Dream. Come back to your dreams this week as well. Okay. Which again is around it's very much tying all of those things together. All of them. What are your dreams? What are your heart? One of the things that I have dabbled with over the years is sketching. And when I do get a chance to go camping and stuff, and I have the time to pause, which is the way I prefer to camp. I prefer to go to a beautiful place and stop and then, get out some pencils and things and sketch. And it's one of the things that every now and then, when I've sort of semi-forgotten about it, something will come into my life, or someone will come into my life that will remind me of that and go, hey, do you remember that little dream? Do you remember? Do you remember that's something that you like to do? And there's been a couple of years where I've done a spring clean for a lady who used to do an awful lot of pencil sketching, and her sketches were just incredible. And she would use a little bit of watercolor here and there as well, and it was just amazing. And today I watched a movie, which I have a funny feeling Terry actually gave to me, and it was called Ambition to Meaning, and starring Dr. Wayne Dwyer. And if you haven't watched this movie, I would highly recommend it, especially for all of you lovely people here on Find You Fridays. Ambition to Meaning, and it says finding your life's purpose. It's a little bit of a misnomer. However, in a lot of ways, it's absolutely spot on. And it really resonated for me today, while I was also deeply reflecting on all the stuff that had happened with Tasmania and all. So yes, if you haven't seen that, yes, I still have a DVD player. I'm one of those old people. But yeah, that was really amazing, and there were so many takeaway things in that movie. But one of them was, people are always trying so hard to find their purpose and find the thing that's supposed to be their life's destiny, blah, 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 blah. But the thing is, it's inside of us all the time. It's always there. It's been there right from conception. And all you have to do is be quiet enough and still enough in nature, for example, to hear the message, to be inspired. Which leads me on to my next little story. So while we were up at Cradle Mountain, which we did after Launceston, or Launceston, I think they said. Anyway, Launceston. There's a little walk about 2/3 the way down from Cradle Mountain, from Dove Lake, and it's called the Enchanted Forest Walk. And it is a lot of very, very old growth forest, and it's got these cute little tunnel things for the kids, and with murals and stuff on the inside. But as I was walking around, I kept seeing all these plants that I was like, I wonder if I could create an embroidery, like almost sampler of all of these different plants that I'm seeing that are sort of unique to this particular walk. Because by this stage, we were about halfway through our trip and we'd seen a lot of different plants and stuff, but it was like there's some really specific ones that kept popping up. And I was like, So then I started taking a lot more specific, detailed shots of these plants. And then I've started getting like other ideas of how to create like the same image of like the creek that was going through, and the rocks and the lichens and the mosses and the and this is the sort of stuff that can happen when you're in nature. Amazing magical ideas can come to you. And then following on from that, I also know that I require to go to some of the older op shops and things in the older areas of Adelaide to see if I can find some of those older embroidery books. I did find a couple of them while we were in Tassie, but they were too thick and heavy to bring back. And but it made me think, I'm sure I'll be able to find something here in Adelaide. So inspired by a craft that I'm still learning, and I'm just like, yes, that's given me like a real, yes, please. And that's what being in nature does. When we walk away from get away from our technology for a good length of time and just be walking through nature, listening to it, so much good stuff can pop through. Hello, Paul from the USA. You have up in the 50s today and love it. Yes, being in the park in the morning, it's absolutely amazing. So if you didn't catch Paul, I was in Tasmania for the last 2 weeks, which is, I don't know if you know the Australian geography. So there's the main island of Australia, and then there's this little island that sits down at the bottom, and that's Tasmania, and that's where I've been for the last couple of weeks. And it's lovely and lush and green and foresty and cold. And yes, cold and cool. Let me just see. So it's been up in the 50s. For those of you who work in degrees Celsius, in the 50s is all of about 10 degrees. Just saying. So yeah, for us, that's cold. While I was away, we floated in our highs between anywhere from like 10 degrees to the hottest we got was on our very last day, which was 21, I think. So just so 21 is like 69 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, safe to say. And our coldest that we got to was around 0 degrees, which is 32 in Fahrenheit. And that was when we were up on our very first night with the van. Second night in Tasmania, we went up to Mount Wellington and they had a blizzard up there. There was snow, and it was the funniest day for me. Simon's got a brilliant video of me like being very excited about being in the snow. And one of the things that we had was we had a roast chicken from the supermarket, but the front dash was so cold that I didn't even bother putting it in the fridge. I just left it on the front dash and put our privacy screen behind it, and the front dash took care of the chicken. So we had dashboard chicken the next day. Oh dear. Yes, Terry, Dwight is awesome. Ah, you're seeing Michael the movie. I have heard very good things about that. One of my friends went and saw it just recently, within the last few days, and they said it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Alrighty, Tamara, thank you very much for waiting patiently. What is your question, my love? Who wishes to come and play with Tamara? What? Tamara, what have you got going on with your lower back, love? Big old twinge. Let me see how far back. There. So sort of about the waistline area. It's like a big, and over the hip. Something for you to investigate there. Truth, who does that belong to? Is it yours? No. Truth, are you willing to let it go? Also a no. So what's the value of holding on to it? How different or how much more amazing or fulfilling could your life be if you chose to let that go? What are you getting out of it by holding on to it? I'm sure you've got Ina's book. Have a look. She's got it all broken down in there. Find out which aspect or aspects are the most relevant to you and do the process on those. Expanding out first before you do it. What are banana bars, Paul? I have no idea what they are. Sounds like an interesting recipe. Okay. The skeleton. Okay, I'm getting it's an L3. It's like chocolate chip bars. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Okay. Just having a quick look at what L3 stands for. And the things that are standing out are things that I'm seeing in this card reading too. Okay, so please have a look at that in your book. I'm pretty sure. Let me know if you've got it, because sometimes we forget to use our tools, right? That we've got, and if let me know if you've got Ina's book. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about this one, The Secret Language of Your Body by Ina Segal. It is an absolutely brilliant book, and I keep discovering things with it all the time, and I've been working with it for 20 years now. And I'm so grateful that this came into my life when it did. So yeah. And again, you got the Ina size of things now. Value your uniqueness is your first card. So in case you're wondering, for those of you who don't know, is the secret language of your soul. You've got 2 copies. I actually have 2 copies as well. I have my original one, which is the version 1, and then I have this one. So that's all right. You're not hoarding copies. I really value my both my copies though, so they will never get loaned out to anybody. It's like, no. I lost one book in a relationship a couple of years ago, and like when he moved out, he took the book with him, and I was just like, it took me a little while to realize, and I'm like, oh, no. I was absolutely horrified. And then I just kind of went, oh, well, maybe he requires it more than I do these days. Right. People feeling your uniqueness. The world awaits you. There is no one else like you in the whole universe. You are as individual as a star, as unique as a snowflake. You are being called to identify your skills, insights, and abilities and to learn to value them as the divine gifts that they are. The time has come to recognize and appreciate what you bring to the world. What aspects of yourself have you developed to the point of expertise or mastery? Are you a talented cook, gardener, mother, father, mentor, teacher, lover, friend, or communicator? Take time to recognize these qualities and feel good about what you have to offer. Consider these qualities you would like to grow and enhance. Could you contribute more and expand your place in the world if you branched out and learned new skills? If so, consider taking a class, seminar, or online course and remain open to learning how your abilities could be implemented. You are being called to seek your place in the world and walk toward it with pride. By building confidence in your unique gifts, you become a beacon for others to follow. Start perceiving yourself the way you wish to be perceived, the way you deserve. You are a talented, unique individual with much to offer. It is no longer necessary to hide or pretend you are not as special as you truly are. Share your talents and abilities with the world. Stop procrastinating and take a leap of faith. It is time to become the you that you were born to be. Yes, I said L3. That's what my awareness was saying. The healing practice. To integrate the guidance of this card, you may wish to perform the following healing practice. So I know that you have these cards. So this is number 34. All right. And I would highly recommend that you do that healing practice. All right. You might want to take one of these on each day. Might be a good idea. Or maybe one in the morning and one in the evening or something like that. Okay. So I know you all are like, what? What healing practice? Let me have a look. All right. We're going to actually do that one a little bit later, I feel. So I'm just going to put a little pin in that one. 25 is your next card. I do love these. Now, if you are looking at L3, you'll see some correlation between L3 and this next card. Use your anger. Inner fire sparks outer action. We live in a time where there is constant strife and struggle between polarized factions that wish to control us and tell us how we should live our lives. The ugly, hateful, spiteful, and cruel may seem louder than ever. How relevant for right now. But we must never forget that incredible beauty, love, creativity, and benevolence are always to be found. We need only look a little deeper. When the darkness you see in the world incites anger, you can choose to fall into victimhood and despair, or you can use the power of your inner fire and become a trailblazer for something worthy. You can complain and become consumed by your suffering, or you can proactively work to create a better world for everyone. The choice is yours. Ask yourself, what can you do to awaken others to your vision of a better world? Can you write, speak out, plant trees, volunteer, or raise awareness for a cause? Are you willing to put your time or money behind your beliefs? Are you ready to take positive action in your family, community, or the world? You are being asked to meet each person where they are and act with empathy. Even when you disagree, remain open to developing an understanding of perspectives that diverge from your own. By investigating other sides of an argument, we can begin to see the picture more clearly and find ways to breach the divide. Ask yourself whether it is necessary to change or alter your perspective. Resist the urge to remain stuck in your opinion to the exclusion of reason. Enlightenment only comes to the receptive. Be kinder to yourself and those around you, and you will see your perspective expand and your life evolve. Learn to discern a worthy fight from one where you should just put your weapons down. This card asks you to meet your anger with a sense of maturity and to exchange reaction for responsiveness. Become a conscious awakener of others and you will awaken anew. Okay. Just before Paul disappears, excited that you're having a rose garden wedding next year, Paul. That is excellent. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Be happy to you too. So Tamara, certainly there is the healing practice, an exercise and a visualization to do with that card. So that was card number 25 for you. And all of that is to say that anger is, from my perspective of where anger sits, it's a very potent energy to work with. Anger is often an energy that gets shit done, right? But, and I do say but, it can also create a lot of harm. And harm not only to others, but to yourself too. It can damage relationships. It can damage the energies that are flowing. It can do a lot of horrible things also to within your bodies. So if you're suppressing or repressing your anger, that can also bubble up in different ways, including soreness of your back. One of the interesting things is it can come out in all sorts of different ways. So, yeah, just remember that, okay? It's a potent energy, but it can also be one that can be harmful. Alrighty, the next one is 31, which is inhale the scent of life. The celestial bouquet awaits. In our society of non-stop stimulation, sensations, smells, and tastes, it's all too easy to lose touch and become desensitized to the glory of the divine. This card asks you to become aware of how the outside world can bombard and numb your senses. Your body is asking for time to rest in a quiet, natural healing environment so it can lead you to greater unity with life. Before eating, take time to smell and appreciate your food. Eat mindfully. Ask your body if what you're consuming will enhance your well-being or hinder it. Make choices that support your alignment with life. Ask yourself, how do I wish to feel in my environment? Where would I like to feel calm, relaxed, energized, and receptive? What kind of flowers or essential oils can help me to create this nurturing atmosphere? Pick or buy some flowers, plants, or essential oils and use them to create healing aromas in your environment. Fragrances can enhance or repel us. Experiment with what works for you. Be creative. Change your inner or outer settings so you can experience moments of zing. Alternatively, spend time in nature, awakening your senses and receiving nature's healing vitality. Inhale life and appreciate its fragrance with sensitivity, kindness, and gratitude for all that is. Lovely. I know you love your nature walks. So, interestingly, what I'm seeing is that you two require to, when you go on your nature walks, find some spots that it's just you and sit with nature. Sit with the tree with your hand on the tree and just breathe. Close your eyes and breathe. at least 3 nice big deep breaths and see how different you feel after that. Tune into the wisdom of the tree. And sometimes it's just the energy, sometimes it's warmth, sometimes it's a tingle, sometimes it's words. Sometimes, like some of the trees that I got to do that with over my trip, it was like I got a massive, huge download of information. And it's still bubbling through my system now. And as I'm talking about this, I can feel that energy that is a little bit stuck around the L3 spot, like trying to move up, and so become unstuck and move through the spinal column and out. So just be aware of that. Maybe some time in nature will actually, and a gentle walk may actually help to move that energy on. Because the capillary action of trees teaches us how energy is meant to move through our body, right? And it's only us lovely humans that like to try and stop energies because we're really clever like that. I don't know why we do it, but there we go. Apparently that's something we enjoy doing. Who knows why? If we watch that movie, it would say that our ego is why. And we're just trying to prove something, and by making our lives harder than it requires to be. So, yeah. $37, Miss Tamara. Be exacting. Think before you speak. The truth can hurt, but it doesn't have to. You are in control of the words you speak and, to a certain extent, their impact. Be mindful of the power of what you say. Consider whether your voice holds extra weight due to your position, authority, or prestige. Are your opinions given more significance based on status rather than merit? Thinking about what you want to say before you say it can help maintain a compelling discourse and determine the kind of response you are likely to receive. When engaging another, listen as often or more often than you speak. Truly listen. Don't just nod along and wait for your opportunity to assert your opinion. Remain open to your conversation partner's ideas and be receptive rather than aggressive. If you need to object to something, do it gently without assigning blame. This card asks you to become more conscious of your words. Are you speaking angry, critical, hurtful, blaming, fearful words, or beautiful, uplifting, transformational, inspiring words? Consciously listen to what you say and interrupt hateful, critical, or self-depreciating speech with words of love and kindness. If your words have not created the kind of reality you would like to experience, or being asked to find new ones, put effort into communicating with those closest to you with care and encouragement. Show them a side of you they may not have seen. Embody the person you wish to be and speak with their voice. Do not allow yourself to be engaged in hurtful or negative discourse. If someone is saying something limiting or fear-based, disengage and walk away. You can turn simple conversations into empowering discourse, but not all exchanges are worth continuing. Communicating well means knowing when to speak, when to listen, and when to disengage. Be gentle with yourself as you improve your oratory skills. The old aspects of you may try to creep out to the surface, and when they do, acknowledge them and refocus on what you are currently creating. Feel the stress, tension, and overwhelm disappear to allow greater ease, acceptance, and aliveness to enter your being. All right. So, think before you speak. This is going to be a fun one. I'm going to actually do the exercise with you all on that one as well, because in this time, while we've got a lot of things shifting and changing in the world, and we have a lot of energies moving, and we are in the 4D world, which is all about emotions, anger is something that's going to pop up. And having spent 13 days with my partner in a very small space and basically being in each other's pockets 24/7, I can, with all honesty, say that there was times that this stuff came up. And it was in those moments where I consciously chose to not fire up. There was only a couple of times right near the end. And it was when stuff bubbled up, it was more so on his side than mine, because I've done a lot more work, not to say he hasn't, but I've done a lot more of regulating myself and noting when I'm getting angry or frustrated or whatever, and also noting when somebody else is angry and frustrated, that I don't have to play that game. And so I would do the and choose to respond with calmness rather than Was that an exercise in patience? Yes, very much so. And it was growing me hugely the entire time. So that's good. All right. So if you'd like to follow on, think of the last time you had a fight or an argument with someone that you love. In your mind's eye, play this experience backwards. Each time you say something hurtful, stop. Ooh, that energy is moving already. Do not judge what occurred. Instead, ask, how else could I have responded instead of reacting to this person? If I could have replied or spoken to them as my higher self, what would I have said? Just giving you a little moment there. You will often discover new and creative ways that you could have spoken to your loved one. I encourage you to practice this process daily until lovingly responses replace reactivity. You might be pleasantly surprised at how your relationship begins to flourish. Write down the types of words or sentences that you regularly say to others or yourself that no longer work for you, and ask yourself, where and how did I acquire them? How are these words impacting my health, life, relationships, and confidence? What new thoughts, words, beliefs, and sayings could strengthen and support me? Say the answers aloud and let them go. Every time old thoughts and impulses come up, exchange them consciously. So definitely it is a time of creating some space in your world for more peace and harmony. And the way that you do that is by valuing you and your uniqueness. So we're going to do a little bit of energy healing now. But first, Tamara, your yummy card, and then we'll do that little healing. Joyous is your card. God, I love your joyousness. And your joyousness is part of your uniqueness. That part of you that's that bubbly, excited part, that's you. I wonder how you can infuse more of that joyousness, that unique Tamara joyousness into your creations, into the business. I wonder. All right. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your continued support and your beautiful donation. I'm so grateful for you. And thank you for being here and continuing to support Find You Fridays. I'm so grateful for you and grateful for your little bit of inspiration for this wee healing that we're going to do now. So thank you, darling. I hope that helps. Just to summarize, value your uniqueness, use your anger, use that energy for good, to get things moving. Pause, inhale the scent of life, and think before you speak, which of course, when we're angry, we don't tend to think before we speak. We just react. It's not a good thing. So breath. When you feel that stuff bubbling up, pause. Close your eyes. Take a big deep breath. Breathe out. And then respond. Don't react. Respond. All right, everybody, let's do this energy healing. Close your eyes and breathe deeply. Imagine you are standing beside someone who loves you. If you could borrow their eyes, how would you see yourself? When you feel positive, open your eyes and look at yourself through the eyes of love. How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself differently now? What does a person who loves you see? It's okay if you also see your undeveloped shadow aspects, as people who care about you are also aware of what you are working towards shifting. Now lie or sit comfortably with your eyes closed. Imagine that you hold a laser beam of many colors and visualize moving this light onto any area of your skin that is irritated, red, dry, swollen, itchy, or spotty. Observe the light changing color according to the part of the body that the laser is treating. For example, if the skin is red, the laser may change to blue to counteract the redness. If the skin is dry, the laser may change to pink to enliven the area. If the skin is swollen, orange rays can calm. If your skin is itchy, yellow rays can help soothe. Focus on letting go of all anger, frustration, self-criticism, irritation, and dislike of yourself as you move through this process. In your mind's eye, Observe your skin begin to clear. You become radiant, lustrous, glowing, and soft. How does it feel to have this new skin? Enjoy your renewed skin. In the days following this healing, focus on feeling comfortable and secure within your new skin. With blessings from Ina Segal. When you're ready, you may open your eyes. When you finish playing with the lasers, so Raj Nesing over on YouTube, past life stuff is something that, yes, I do. However, this is not the format to do that in. When I do past life work, it is in regards to a healing process. Perhaps you're going through something that just to comprehend where I sit with past life stuff. So I tend to talk about it as other lives rather than past life, because time is not linear. Time is actually like a spiral. And within that spiral, there are certain things that we have done in other lives and even this life. But because we're in this consciously here now, there's things that have happened in other lives that can have an impact on this life and this body and stuff like that. It's part of our spiritual ancestry, if you like. So when people do sessions with me and something comes up and it has originated in a past life, what I'll do is I'll take them through this process where we end up going to that particular lifetime and doing healing in that lifetime with that particular version of the client's self. And what that does is takes it back to the source of creation and basically takes it so it does not impact anymore on this life. So, for example, I've done this process many times with myself, and there are certain things that have popped up in my life, even certain relationships that have popped up in my life, which have been past other lifetime relationships, perhaps quite traumatic relationships. And those people have popped up back into this lifetime so that I could heal away the karma to do with that particular relationship. And there's other things that have gone on with my body, for example, that have been in relation to another lifetime. There's been elements around food, for example, and that was based on a lifetime where I died starving and hungry and about 4 years old. And I was beaten to death, basically, in the street, in a cold street. So there was some interesting relationships from that lifetime of food meant safety, food meant family, food meant, healthy, food meant like love, essentially. Because the reason why I died so young was because my family didn't have enough food to feed all of their multitudes of children. And I was the one that ended up getting kicked out because the workhouses and stuff were full at that time. There was no space for me. So I was trying to make it on the streets, but it was winter, and it just I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. I've had other lifetimes where I became very keenly aware while living here that I had a bit of a funny thing with the ocean, and it was almost a fear, to be honest. And I was heading over to Hawaii, and I was like, oh God, I have to sort out this thing with the ocean. Like, I'd really like to be able to have a swim in, while I was in Maui. And it turned out it was because there's not one, but two other lifetimes where I have been a ship's captain and gone down with the ship and drowned at sea. So hence the reason why I had a little bit of trauma around oceans and things like that. But again, this is not the platform for doing past life stuff. I can sometimes will tap in and go, oh, this is not related to this lifetime. And that's when we would encourage you to do a private session. Okay. So I don't just go, oh, let's go have a look. No, we don't do that. Not for me anyway. Some other readers might be able to do that with you, but that's not my warehouse. I'm a healer, not just a looker. All right. Now, Christine, I did save your questions. Are you still floating around, my love? Oops. Let's jump back over here. Okay, hopefully Christine is still floating around. Which one? This one. Okie dokie. Show me your yes. Show me your no. Thank you. So, truth. Should Christine be concerned with her endometriosis biopsy? Okay. Asking for more information, please. Okay, let's give you a longer string. Okay, truth. Is the polyp in Christine's uterine wall anything to worry about? That's a very firm yes. Truth. Is this something that Christine could fix without surgery? That's a no. Truth. Is the polyp benign? It says yes. Truth. Is there something that energetically Christine can do to prevent this from happening again? Yes. Truth is truth. Are there methods within Ina Segal's book that could help Christine? Yes. Alrighty, Christine. For that little wee polyp, it appears that it's going to be okay. Let them get in there, get it out. There is one other question that I require to ask. And of course, as I'm saying all of this, you have to trust your own awareness about your own body. I am not a doctor. Okay, so please trust your own awareness. There is one question that I required to ask, which I have not asked yet, is truth. Will removing this polyp be harmful to Christine? That's an emphatic no. Okay, that was the one last thing that I had to ask. All right, beautiful. All righty, happy days. Happy days. Thank you so much, Christine. Let me find you your yummy card. You got purification. So there's definitely some energy work that you're required to do, Christine. And now is the time. This is the moment where I tell you guys and remind you all of when I got introduced to Ina Segal's book. It was at a time when this might be TMI for some of you, so warning you in advance. I had a pap smear done, and it came back with abnormal cells. And so 3 months later, I went back in for another smear just to see if it was just a once off. It came back a second time with abnormal cells. And it was around that time, it was within a week or so of that second result that I got Ina Segal's book. And it was quite a magical moment. I was actually at a law of attraction meeting. And I found that it had a process around the uterus and the vagina. And so I did the process every morning and every night for a month. And I went back and I spent the money to go and get another pap smear done after a month. And the nurse is like, but haven't we already got you booked in for a biopsy? And I'm like, yeah, but I've been doing this energy stuff. I don't really know how to explain it, but I feel really good. And so she said, oh, well, can't hurt. So she went up, grabbed another sample, sent it off. It got tested and it came back clear. And she said, I still would recommend you go to the specialist and have a biopsy done anyway. And so off I went after a bit of resistance because I was like, I feel fine. I feel good. Like I don't feel clogged up or anything anymore. And I explained it to the specialist, and the specialist very kindly just sort of listened, and he didn't really get what I was saying, but he was like, well, seeing as you're here, would you like to maybe for me to just have a quick look? And I was like, all right. So he had us look around, and I got to see my cervix on the big, huge screen, which was very interesting. And long story short, everything was absolutely fine. I was good. I was fine. I was healthy. There was nothing wrong down there. And so that's the power of energy healing. That's the power of you healing yourself. And that was the funny thing, is she, in her processes, she talks about divine healing intelligence. And because I was an eager beaver Aryan, I just went straight to the section that I wanted, and I just did that section. I didn't comprehend at that time that the divine healing intelligence she refers to is actually you healing you, your own divine healing intelligence. At that time, I was thinking I was being healed from outside of myself, but it didn't matter that I thought that. I still healed, because the energetic impacts of my first marriage were being removed from my system. And that's why I was getting, the abnormal cells in the first place. But yeah, interesting. This is why I still use that book to this day. And in fact, when I was away, I was very sad I didn't have it with me, because there was something that came up with my body that I would have liked to have been able to deal with using my inner circle work. Tis what it is. I knew enough about it that I was like, okay, I see you. I see what you're doing. All right, my little ones, beautiful. I think we might be ready. Might be ready for our meditation, I think. All right. So what I've been asked to bring you today for our meditation is going to be I've spoken a lot about Tasmania, and that was kind of in preparation for our meditation. The meditation that I didn't get to do while I was away. However, I was surrounded by so much beautiful forest that I've certainly brought that energy back with me for now. I only arrived back Wednesday night. So looking forward to being able to share this with you now. It's only been a couple of days, and I'm looking forward to that. Let me put my phone on silent. So we don't get any more ding-dongs going ding-dongs through, because we don't enjoy that. Cool. All right. Close your eyes now. Relax your body. Take a big, deep breath in. And out. Taking another big, deep breath in, and this time bring Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body. Breathing out, bring your Father Sky energy all the way down. Bring Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way up as you breathe in. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. Become aware of your body. Become aware of the position of your body. Become more deeply aware of your breath. your skin, your muscles, your bones, your internal organs, your blood, your brain. Become aware of the electrical impulses throughout your entire body. Become aware of your cells. Of the incredible connected highway that is all of your cells talking to each other through the electrical communication, through your blood, your muscles, your bones, your bone marrow, your neural pathways. And see and acknowledge what a biological engineering feat you are. And as you explore this, and acknowledging all of these physical aspects of you, become aware of your eyes. And the fact that your eyes, if you are of a seeing person, can take in all of the electrical information that is all around you, which appears as colors and shapes and vibrations, and translates them into your brain. Your eyes literally are the great puzzle solvers of the world, because they see all of these little molecules that have kind of formed into shapes and stuff, and it translates that into something that's useful and usable. How amazing are your eyes? Become aware of your ears and how your ears can hear vibration, and they hear different tones and frequencies of vibration. And once again, it's interpreted into the brain. So you can know what it is, whether it is a car, a bird, a plane, the wind in the leaves, somebody's heartbeat. How amazing are your ears? And if you're like me, your ears also ring when you have spirit floating around. And it's not necessarily just the spirit of the humankind. Much like when I walked into the forest that was up by the Juni caves, and as soon as I walked into the forest area, my ears started ringing, and that was all the tree nymphs and sprites and fairies saying hello. And as soon as I acknowledged them, they quietened. How amazing is that our ears can perceive so much? And from such great, great distances as well. Now we change our focus to your nose and how the nose works. Becoming aware of the vibrational sense, whether it floats to you through the air or you place your nose up to it. How amazing is it that those little scent particles can come up through your nose and have information that is then translated to your brain through your little nose hairs, receptors that are up there. Just incredible. What a gift. So your nose can tell you when something smells good, when it smells bad. It's a fabulous survival tool. And along with our nose is our mouth, of course, because these two work in harmony for the sense of taste. Because as we breathe in, and we're tasting our food at the same time as we breathe in, through the smell and the taste together and how it is interpreted by our tongue. Whether it's salty or sweet or bitter. Our brain puts all of this information together in one magical moment, instantaneously. And also takes note of how the rest of our body responds to those tastes and smells. And finally, our touch. As we take notice of our hands and our feet and the rest of our body. How our hands can literally go out and touch a tree and communicate with plant life. And if you're really quiet and you breathe with the tree, you will hear its accent. You will feel its age. And if you're really quiet and patient, the tree will also show you how it communicates halfway around the world, or at least just across the neighborhood. And with that acknowledgement of your body and how magical, amazing, and incredibly unique it is, I'd like you to imagine now that you're starting to walk through a deep forest, lush forest. You see the big, tall, old growth trees and the high, high canopy above you, higher than you ever thought you'd ever be able to see. in a tree. And as you look up and you see the canopy above you creating all sorts of cool shapes, and you see how these big, tall trees give each other space. They're there working alongside of each other, giving each other support in those high winds and heavy rainstorms or snowstorms. But they also give each other space to breathe. And you see that with the dappled light that comes through. Allowing the mid-canopy trees, the ones that don't get nearly as tall, light to grow, to thrive. And even with the mid-canopy trees, they don't get so thick and densely packed together that they don't allow enough light to get to the earth. As you walk along, you notice the difference between walking on pavement versus walking on the soft, mossy earth. There's a sponginess to it. That's like the most luscious carpet with the hugest underlay. You immediately take your shoes and socks off and feel the coolness and the support of the soft blanket of moss underneath your feet. And as you're admiring the gentle, soft space, under your feet, you also feel the cool air moving around your legs, around your body, around your arms, lightly, very so lightly, moving your hair. And then you become aware of the sound of water. And as you continue to walk along, your hand gently brushing the tree trunks, you see the pathway has kind of been cut into the hill or the mountain. And the sound of water is becoming a little stronger. It's like a little trickle sound. And the sound of water gets stronger and stronger. And as you round the bend, you see a beautiful spring that has just worked its way through the earth and the rocks over many, many millennia. And this trickle of water is moving down the side of the wall of the cliff. It's not very far above you. And as this water is moving down, it's feeding the moss and the lichen, which is then fanning it out like a really pretty umbrella. So you're getting lots of multiple drips from one small stream of water. And you see those multiple drips are flowing down over the next little ridge. Which is rock and a fallen log, which changes the sound slightly. And as all of these little tiny droplets join together as they carry on down and meet again, they create a slightly larger stream of water moving down and away from you. And as you watch this little spring, if you look really carefully, you see the little sparkles of light glistening off of the moisture, and you just might see a fairy or two. They love flitting and floating around these areas, especially with the moss. As you continue to walk along, you discover a big old maple tree. This maple tree is hundreds and hundreds of years old. Not maple, myrtle. My apologies. This myrtle tree comes from the times when the earth was one, where all the lands were joined together. It has very, very old wisdom within its bark, within its trunk, and all the way down through its root system. It is wisdom that has been passed on from its ancestors and the ones before and the ones before that. And because it's so slow growing, if you put your hand on this myrtle tree and perceive it, you can see all of you can see how fine the growth rings are. And because of their age, and they are the keepers of wisdom of the earth. Place your cheek onto the old myrtle tree. Allow the myrtle tree to commune with you. And the only thing you have to do is to be open. Open in your heart and allow all your ego to drift off to the background. Let it go. Don't ask how this is possible. Just receive. Receive the information and receive the intuition. And receive the love. Receive the love that the myrtle tree has for all living things, including you, including me. Take a nice big deep breath in. Breathe in the stillness. Breathe in the calmness. Breathe in the life, the decay, the balance between the light and the dark. It's all around you right now. The perfect balance. Even in times of fire, flood, massive snowstorms, earth slides, all of it is in perfect balance. And Mother Gaia, Mother Nature, however you wish to talk about it, always finds balance and regrowth. It may look different the next time round, but there's always regrowth if left to do her job. And as you now move away from the old myrtle tree, look skyward once more and perceive you as the trees and the moss and the lichen and the fairies do. Perceive you, most magical one, who is able to be out in the very, very harsh world and has the choice to return. And you also have the choice to spread the magic from the forest out into the world, through your heart, through your actions, through your voice, through your words, through your very presence and being. That is your choice and your gift. And see how much the trees, the lichens, the moss, the ferns, the water, the nymphs, the fairies, and the sprites, the very Mother Earth herself. So grateful for you being in this world. As much as you are so grateful for all of them. Place your hand on your heart. Promise to return here often. So you can share in collaboration, receive and gift energy. Because the moment that you walked into this forest, your energy was gifting to the forest, just as much as you were receiving from it. With that, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. With great devoted appreciation, we say thank you. Take a big deep breath in. And out. And as the forest fades away and you're back in your body, feel how different your body feels as you take another big deep breath in. How full of peace and calmness and gratitude and life. Breathing in deeply once more. And in this moment, you may ask yourself, how am I going to contribute this energy forward in my life or the lives of others? And that is only something you can know. One more big deep breath in and out. When you're ready, please open your eyes. For self-care, please have some water now. Have a little salt. I hope you enjoyed that meditation as much as I did. That was pretty amazing. I appreciate you so much. And thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for spreading your magic out into the world every single day. So until I see you next time, please get out there, do something tasty for yourself over this next week. And be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful friends. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.